really didn't grow up in a Christian home at all. I have amazing parents, I'm super blessed by them, but religion and God was never really a topic, and so it was kind of this mysterious thing. And as my sisters grew up, they kind of influenced me to have a hard heart towards it, and I was very anti-faith in God. I was very against it. So from a very early age, I was labeled with a lot of different issues that I was told I had, from ADD to depression to insomnia. So going into high school, I had a very strong desire for freedom. I found that in trying to break all the rules. Me and my group of friends, we were very competitive. Who could party the hardest, drink the hardest, get the most girls, whatever it was. It was a very ego-driven, unhealthy thing that was just a downward spiral. Going into my senior year, I was doing my physical. I was a swimmer, and so we had the requirement, and the doctors found cancer. That is a very, very scary thing. My support system, from the girlfriend I was with to my family, they were just as scared as I was, and they didn't know how to handle it. And I felt scared out of my mind. And I found myself in, a deep depression, in which, despite the fact that, I didn't know God and I had no idea, I've always been against it, I found myself dropping on my knees and praying. There was just something inside of me, and I knew that I was being taken care of, and I knew that there was someone there to talk to and to listen. It was just this internal knowledge. And when I finally went in and had the surgery and I had it removed, whether it was misdiagnosis or a miracle of God, it wasn't cancerous, and they removed it. And I think for me, that really softened my heart to the concept of there definitely is a God. Despite what God had obviously done in my life, I found myself turning back to the same quest for freedom and partying and all that stuff, which carried through my senior year into college. I found myself in the exact same situation of being alone and depressed, and I would go for these drives to try to escape. And there was just one moment where I was driving and I very narrowly missed what could have been a fatal accident. And I found myself in that moment thinking, dang, I wish I had been hit. And that's when I knew that something was wrong. For a couple weeks, and again, I was out driving, and it was one of those drives where I don't really remember the process, but I just ended up at the Commons on a Sunday afternoon at the start of service. Don't remember getting there, but I was there, and I walked in right at the start of service, and my good friend Corey was there, and he was like, Ben, what are you doing here? This is crazy. Like, I didn't know you were coming. I was like, I didn't really know I was coming either. Sit down for service, check it out, and literally all my doubts and my attacks on the Christian faith before were directly answered in that first service, and God spoke directly to me through Charlie in that day. It woke me up, and I decided to get plugged in, and I started consistently coming, and every time I had a new question, it was answered in the next service, literally that exact service. And then through the Commons, I got plugged in with the Young Life community in Flagstaff, and just their open hearts, and instantly felt loved and connected. And through this whole process, God had been slipping these huge influences to my life and these people, from Charlie to Jay to people at my job. And I understood that I was where I was supposed to be. And when I approached Charlie about baptism, he was all about it. I got baptized last Easter. And from there, it's been this crazy journey of God just grabbing hold of me and pulling me in the direction that He made me for. I got placed in summer staff for Young Life, fell in love with ministry, prayed a lot about it, and the second I got back from that camp, there's tons of ministry opportunities for me. From here at the Commons, I got plugged in with middle school ministry, to diving deeper with Young Life and college life, and moving into a student staff position that's coming up. I've come to this place where I've realized that despite how many times I've turned my back on God, how many times I try to run away and pursue my own selfish desires, that He has hold of me and He has hold of my heart, and He's not given up on that. And no matter what I'm going through, He's going to be pulling me in the right direction, so long as I am willing to listen to Him and follow along on that path. He is relentless in His pursuit after me, and I feel that every single day.